Hey Choppers, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Star Wars Outpost. If you're new to the channel, my name is Greg and I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe on my videos to help my channel grow. But let's get down to business. Today I ordered my first Neopixel lightsaber, which is just in the box right here. So let's open it up and check it out. Welcome back, travelers. So today I actually just got in the mail my new Neopixel saber. I ordered a Vader TXQ saber. This is my first one, so I wanted to start something a little bit more budget friendly. This is a TXQ saber. It's an SN4, which is one of the newer versions of Neopixel. It's still not the top brand. Obviously, Profi is the way to go, but I did some research and I was debating between the two. I really had Profi lined up, but it seems a little bit more in depth than I'm willing to go into to start. So I ended up getting an SN4. The reason I purchased the saber, I have my Vader suit that I'm currently working on to get approved for the 501st. So I wanted a lightsaber that was a little bit better quality than just Disney's lightsabers. Not that I have anything against Disney lightsabers. As you can see right there, I collect a decent amount of them. But I wanted something a little bit nicer for this costume, so I decided to go down this route. I ended up purchasing a saber from Obi-Wan Sabers. He is based out of Calgary, so shout out to him. I have a box here. I've just cracked open the tape. So let's see what we got. So upon opening the box, you have a nice kind of velvet box, which I think is upside down. I believe it goes this way. So again, so let's open this guy up. All right, so starting upon opening, I'll pick up the camera and kind of just show you what we got here. My desk is a little messy. I use it for work, so pardon the mess, but let's check this guy out. All right, so upon opening, you have a display stand, the saber, and some toolkit, it looks like. And I'm assuming the blade is underneath this, but I will lift that all up after. Oh, actually the blades are here, you can see it. Yeah, so let's see what we got in here. All right, so display stand. Clearly just a display stand, but let's check it out. Hopefully I don't ruin anything while I'm opening it. So this seems to be just kind of the basic stands you get. They kind of have like a clear stand. Let's see if you can really see that. It comes with like a clear stand. Seems like to be a generic stand that come with a lot of the Profi sabers. But yeah, comes with a nice stand, which I'm always for. Then we have the toolkit. So I'm guessing this is gonna have my Allen keys and couple other things in here, but let's check it out anyway. So what does this come with? We have an instruction manual with some blue on the bottom, but instruction manual. We have our blade plug. This looks like it's kind of maybe extra grips for the saber, just in case something breaks off, and a charging cable. All right. And then we have the saber itself. So here it is. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed already with the quality of this, just opening it up. Yeah, so it seems like it comes with some extra grips, because just looking at these, they kind of just look like they're glued on almost. Like you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it on here. There seems to be like an extra, kind of right there. There seems to be like an extra layer of something under here that keeps it on. So maybe they come off, so they send you some extra grips, which is okay. This is the saber. Personally, the reason I picked this saber, there was a couple options. The reason I went with Obi-Wan sabers was because he had this saber model that I was looking for. So some of the other models I saw for Vader saber for a Neopixel had like the wires not straight up and down. but more like to an angle, and I just didn't really like the look of it. I'm hoping I can take this off. It seems like it just has a small screw, so there might be some screw holes, but I'm fine with that. I just don't really like the look of the black on there, but I'll probably take that off. So I'm gonna come back in a couple minutes, take the blade out. Well, we'll take the blade out now. And your blade. Hey Travis, just to continue off from where we were, I ended up getting sick for 2 weeks, so I had to take some time off, but we'll just continue off from where we were. So I just showed you the blade. I've had some time to kind of play around with the Saber and get you a kind of better understanding of how it works. So first thing I'm gonna recommend, so we're gonna look at the Saber itself, and we're gonna take the back cover off. So when you first get one of these Sabers, I would recommend 100%. First thing you should do, I know you want to play with it, it's a brand new Saber, but take the soundboard out and charge it. You need to charge it right away because it might not work properly. That was the one confusion I had. It just didn't seem to be working properly, so I watched some videos. First thing to do, take the battery and the soundboard out and charge it. So basically all that is you basically just unscrew this part. This comes off. And then there's just like a little black knob there. You just pull on it, just be careful. This comes out. So here's a look at the SN4 soundboard. So there's your kind of sound fonts chips. Basically there's just there's your battery and a little plug-in. So just plug that in for about an hour, and then this just slides back in. Just be careful. There's obviously, as you can see, there's an edge there. So just make sure you put it in the right way. But this just slides back in. If I can do it properly. There we go. Put the pommel back on. Alright, so continue off with the blade. So basically, as you can see, I have the blade plug in there, and there's 2 retention screws, one there and one there. Just make sure they stay loose, at least for the blade plug-in anyways, because it's just to keep dust and stuff out. You don't need to tighten it. If you really want to, you can, but that's how the blade plug just sits in. It's just keeping dust out. So basically, you'll just pull that out, and you're good to go. So basically, we're just going to install the blade now. So put this down. So here's your blade like we quickly showed you, and there's a little bit of a cover on the top here. So we'll just take that off, and then basically there's your electronics that connect to the bottom. So you want to make sure you don't have to firmly, it's not like a Disney Saber, you don't have to really put it in there. Just gently tuck it in. So the top of your Saber, make sure your retention screws are loose so it has room to go in. And basically that's it. It just slides in nice and easy. And then we're gonna tighten up our retention screws. So give me 1 second here. We have a blade installed. So the retention screws are tight. Like I said, don't over crank them, but basically we're just doing a quick run through of how this works and some of the features. I haven't completely figured this thing out. I actually don't know how to get the tip drag to go without using my phone, and I'm using my phone to record this, so I can't go through all the features on this, but we'll do a quick little run through of the features that I know will work. So basically, you'll have your blade in, and then to turn it on, you're just gonna hold, there's 3 buttons here. You're just gonna hold this on and we'll say power on.
Power on.
Right, it's nice and simple. So if you want to turn it on, you can either twist the blade, you can stab the blade, or you can press the top button. So we just press the top button here. There you go. So it's got smooth swing. I can get it to go. Blaster deflects, which will be the bottom button. Now, depending on what character sound font you have will depend on what sound you have. And like I said, you can just turn it off that way. So if we turn it back on, we have blade clash and blade lock up. So blade clash. And it might change the color so you can see it a little bit better, but blade clash. And then if you want to do lock up, you hold the bottom button and then hit it and release. And then repress it if you want to turn it off. So, to go through the sound fonts, very straightforward, and there's a couple other things you can do. So, go through the sound fonts, you just click the bottom button, and I believe there's 27 on this Saber with an SN4. So we got Yoda. We have a nice green. Right, same thing, right? So if you do blast reflex, it'd be different sounds just because it's a different character. It's much more classic, original film blaster kind of sounds. Right, flash and clash. So if you have a sound font that you like and you want to change the ignition, you just hold the top button while it's off.
Ignition 2.
So this will turn on a different way. So ignition 2
Ray Skywalker.
with Ray. So sorry, my bad. So if you change the character, it will change back to its settings. So
Ignition 2.
So this is ignition 2 as Ray. Right, so there's a bunch of different ones.
Ignition 3.
Just depends what you want. Personally, I'm just a fan of the normal turn on, turn off. So if you want to kind of reset it, yeah, you'd have to go through the sound fonts again. So if we change the character again, so we got Kylo Ren here. So this will have more of a flicker effect. But yeah, so I mean, obviously this connects to your phone. But basically you can change all the effects from blade ignition to what sound font you want, so you can skip through the sound fonts instead of going through one at a time. You can change the blade length, so this is a 36 inch, so you can readjust it to whatever blade length you need. And then there's like toe drag and things like that. I know you can activate it through playing with the TXQ Saber. I just haven't figured it out yet. But there is tip drag and a couple other effects that you can have on there. So we'll take the blade out and just take one last review of the Saber. But yeah, that's a quick overview of kind of what it does. So again, if you want to just turn it on, it's just a quick flick of the wrist. If you want to change sound fonts,
I am the Inquisitor.
buttons. So this will be Inquisitor, should be yellow. Right? It's got the blade lockup, flash on clash, and then like blaster deflex. There's a whole bunch of other things you can do. I'm still kind of playing around with it, but those are the basic. So we'll take the blade out and just do one last overview on it. Right, so I just wanted to run you guys through this really quick. So one thing I don't know about these sabers is how to turn them off. I don't know if there's actually a way to turn it off, but if you just leave it alone, put it down, it will turn off after about 5 minutes. But to install your blade plug, to keep the dust out and stuff like that, so just make sure your retention screws are fully loosened. I mean, don't take them out obviously, but make sure they're loose enough. Basically your blade plug just slides in through the top just like you're putting the blade in. So just nice and easy, and there you go. Keep the dust out. So this is a TXQ Saber, so I got this from Obi-Wan Sabers in Canada. So just to do some comparisons and stuff like this, I don't 100% know any of this information is true and stuff, but I was kind of doing some research on the States website, so I was looking at like Art Sabers and Vader Sabers. Now I don't know, but I'm pretty sure some of those guys do personal installs, so they actually build the whole saber for you, like in the shop. So this is just a secondhand sell. It's a TXQ Saber, so I got it from Obi-Wan Sabers out of Calgary, so I paid just over $400 for this guy, with shipping. Now, as you can see, I have all those Disney Sabers in the background there. So just to give you kind of like a price comparison, Disney Sabers are about $159 American. Once you do the conversion, they're about $180, $190, depending on what you get. And then shipping and imports. So shipping, it usually costs about $250 to $250, $260, depending on which saber you get. So to spend an extra $150 to have all these smooth swings, special effects, is really worth the price. That's it's the reason why I decided to go with these kind of sabers for my cosplay. It's just a better overlooking saber. It's bright. You have all the effects. You can have whatever color you want instead of just being character specific. Yeah, so there are a couple sellers in Canada that you can go to. So I used Obi-Wan for this one. Just because, like I said before, it had the certain look I was looking for. I didn't want the sideways wires. I wanted to be more screen accurate. I will probably take the plaque off the front, but we'll see how it goes down the line. But there is one out of TVX Sabers out of Brantford. They're in Ontario, so they actually offer free shipping over $100. For this, I paid I'll be honest, looking at Obi-Wan sabers compared to a lot of the other saber companies in the States and stuff, he was very reasonably priced. It's the decision why I went down there, but even TVX Saber, really reasonable price, has a little bit more options when it comes to Golden, Harvest, or Profi, and things like that. Gives you a little bit more options, but he offers free shipping, whereas Obi-Wan sabers didn't, so they kind of make up for the pricing in that way. But yeah, that is the TXQ sabers from Obi-Wan sabers. Highly recommend. Shipping was super easy, was very friendly, and responded really quickly about questions I had before purchasing. So if anyone in Canada is looking to get more of a Neopixel saber, that is somewhere I would recommend. I mean, yes, there are options in the States, there are a lot more options, but they're very expensive, and I think for the quality that you're getting in Canada, this would be the way to go. So thanks for joining me, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.